It is always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground. That's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously got to carry the ball with the people up front. Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for them.
Third play here on this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. And Corral will throw it. Throw out wide to Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Corral sets up play action. That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Straight ahead, Walker. They find some open field here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On the move past the 40. Touchdown! Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush, talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Walker now on 1st and 10. He'll get this down to the 38.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Corral going to sneak it. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a gain of a yard, and it's good enough for a Seattle first. On 1st down, Corral. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get that to Colby Parkinson, but it'll be 2nd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Corral. He completes this to Walker. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
3rd down, Corral. Open man is Eskridge. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the 1st quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. On 3rd down, Corral setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Jameis to throw it. Buying time to his left. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. The Saints had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Off play action. Here's Corral. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And he's going to be taken down to the back of 33.
That's a good back-to-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shouldering the ball carrier, and down he goes.
Meanwhile, here a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Winston now. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they followed him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Play fake. Winston. Going deep here for Landry. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw, Winston.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Boye Mafe.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime.
Oh, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks will take over possession here up at the 44. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams when a mistake.
It's caught at the 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
On play action, Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Winston.
That pass complete to Deontay Hardy.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams. Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Deontay Hardy. And out of bounds finally, but not before getting it way across the 50 inside the 25.
The Seahawks 22-yard line.
They go play action. Winston. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And oh, it's blocked. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. He's at the 50. The 30. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
So even when they get a touchdown in this game, which hasn't really been a stellar contest for them, they can't even cap it off and kick the extra point.
Yeah, just not a whole lot going right for them in this game.
I know that when they get into film, this is going to be Exhibit A about how this game went for this team. Oh, we finally scored. Can't even kick the extra point.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
On 2nd and 12,
Corral. He'll find Eskridge here complete.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
3rd down, Corral.
but once again, it's Eskridge. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Option play, Corral keeping it. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
But if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with the defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Marcus May with a pick.
And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
At the 42-yard line.
Here's Winston. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Corral.
He finds his man, complete. That's Young. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all had that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there and end up making the play.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
Taken down by Pete Werner.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Corral on 2nd down.
This is the tight end, Fant.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
A gear for Walker running right.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
On 3rd down, here's Corral.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter play. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things.
And shutting him off now off the field. He's at the 40. across the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 70. And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, they have done a really nice job on him through 3 quarters plus, but you just had that feeling eventually he was going to get loose.
And this is why coaches always preach that it's a 4-quarter game, right? It gets trite for us. It gets trite for the fans. This is exactly what they're talking about. What you did before was terrific, but will it stand up if you start giving up big plays as we saw there?
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over first and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Up the middle, here's Walker. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On the counter, it's Walker. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And Corral will throw it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this is off the left upright, and it comes back. It's no good. And this will stay a 2-score game at 16. So now from a defensive perspective, they might still have a pulse.
Yeah, that probably would have sealed their fate, but now they're still within 2 scores.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
To throw is Winston. And he rips that one incomplete there. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
A gain there of 21 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
This is caught,
It's Hardy.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down and 4, Winston. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick six.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick sixes, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston. Again, he's got that man Landry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Winston now to throw on 1st down.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Play action now. Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
61 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover. Every time you turn